Mario Tennis changed my life. I know it sounds ridiculous, but let me tell you, I had written off and forgotten about video games altogether in my life. Now I am obsessed with video games, play them constantly, and have a video game YouTube channel. Hey, you should subscribe. Seriously though, it's a funny thing. About 21, 22 years old, I was living in Rochester, New York with my best friend, Ryan, and we would essentially drink beer and play N64 Mario Tennis. And that game was so good. Oh my God, it was so good. But one day I got back together with my friend Ryan there, 16, 17 years after we'd ever played, and he got out an old N64, popped in the Mario Tennis cartridge, and we started playing. All came back up. I immediately went out and I bought myself my Nintendo Switch and Mario Tennis Aces. This thing changed everything for me. I want to talk about why this game is so good and why, if you are into sports games like at all, you need to play this. You don't even need to be into sports games, but it just is so incredibly deep. And there's two main points of depth here I want to talk about to just explain to you how incredible this is. And if you've played it, you understand this. First of all, the character depth. You have all sorts of characters that you can choose from here, as you can see. There's tons. But the thing is, they're not just skins. Every single one of these characters plays completely differently. And it's amazing how much of a chess game it makes it. Mario is great all around. Luigi is very, very fast, but a little bit of a weaker shot, but one of his shots is really, really good. Wario's extremely slow, but he hits it really, really hard. While Luigi doesn't hit it hard, but he has really long arms and legs, so he can get to anything out there. Peach is good all around and extremely technical, so she can really place it in the corner. You get the point, right? Like, each and every one of these Mario characters has a completely unique skill set and ability set. And this is not super unique to Mario games in general, but because you'll see some of this in Strikers like a little bit, and you'll see a little bit of it in Mario Golf and stuff. Mario Golf is also fantastic. But here you see it the most. Like, each character plays so differently. It is crazy. Like, you'll see in this one, I'm Mario going up against Luma, and Luma is very technical. And so Luma actually hits it decently hard, but the biggest thing with Luma is that Luma can really hit the corners better than other characters can. It's crazy. I mean, it's just so interesting to watch. And so that kind of character depth, I mean, it's really, really impressive. It's so impressive to me how they can pull this off. And it makes it fascinating. Like, you never know like who you're going to be up against, and you have to match the type of player you are to what your opponent is. And if you don't know who your opponent is ahead of time, and you can't pick your character that you're going to be, it puts you in a particularly strange situation, because you're not really sure exactly what to do. I mean, this is so unique to this game. I mean, it's just amazing. Like, that this is the kind of depth, honestly, because these are caricatures that you're not even going to get in a simulation sports game. Those characters are much more similar in their play style than in this type of game, where they're allowed to make them cartoony, and so they can do whatever they want with them and make their play styles totally different. If you're playing against Boo, he's trick shotting you every 2 seconds with like curved shots that go woo around, whereas you might be Yoshi, who's really fast but barely hits it at all, and it only goes straight. You might find yourself in a really difficult position, and you have to figure out how to adjust your play style. And that is where it gets into the gameplay depth. This gameplay is so deep. You see a few shots that are going on here, right? The blue shot, that's a flat shot. You press one button to shoot that, and that goes kind of hard. It's a cutting sort of shot. Then you have the zone shots, which you just saw, which is like a special shot that you use with your energy gauge that goes up, and you use up some of your energy gauge to do that spike, really. And then there's power shots that you hit with the A button, and then you use those power shots, and they hit hard, but they have more of an arc. Then there's the purple shots here, which are, I don't even know what they're called. But they hit corners better, and they're hard. So interesting, right? On top of that, you charge up every single shot to hit it in a certain way, and there's two different types of charge ups. There's one charge up where you just slam the button, and then it charges it up, and he hits it really, really hard. Then if you hold down the button to charge it up, it'll go towards the corner more. So you get to choose if you want to go for power of the shot or you want to go for positioning of the shot. All of this happens in a split second. right? All while you're dealing with this energy gauge, which goes up for special shots, and it goes towards those zone shots that we saw before. And on top of that, you can hold down the RB button, just looking over at my Switch controller, you could hold down the RB button to use up your energy gauge while you slow down the action. You put it into slow motion so that you can get to a shot you haven't seen for. And I haven't even got into trick shots yet, where you can press double tap Y in a direction and you can get to a shot you never should have been able to get to in the first place. And every character has a different type of trick shot that they use. You can see, like, if you haven't played this game before, you're probably like, whoa. That's because that's how much depth this game has. It's amazing how much depth it has. And I've never really seen anything like this. That's why I wanted to make a little love letter to this game. Because it really is like a game of chess. And that's really the third major thing I want to talk about with this. It becomes such a chess game because you have strengths and weaknesses, and they're both very pronounced. And your opponent has strengths and weaknesses, and they're very pronounced. So like in this case, it's Waluigi, who has a lot of reach but doesn't hit it very hard. He hits a lot of these weak star shots, right? And then you have Birdo, who's a pretty good all-around player, like jack of all trades, master of nothing type player, right? I like Birdo a lot because Birdo hits it a little bit harder than some of the other jack of all traders. And then it's kind of like looking at these energy bars. Like, where's your energy bar at? Where's your energy bar at? Okay, what is this person likely to do based on where their energy bar is at? Are they going to slow down the action? Are they going to use a zone shot, or would they not want to use the energy? Or are they just ready for a special shot? And if their special shot goes, should I make sure I don't use up my energy so that my energy is up enough so that I can use a power shot right after they use a power shot so that I don't lose that point? Right? All of this stuff is going through your mind in a split second, and it makes the game so deep. You have to think about what they're thinking. It's this type of thinking that I call leveling from my, from playing a lot of poker, leveling, right? Like, what do I think that they think that I think they're doing? It's like that level. Because when a game is this deep, when the mechanics are this deep, that's how it works in a sort of PvP game, or even versus AI. In this case, I'm playing AI. Have you played Mario Tennis? Do you feel this way at all? Am I alone on an island here? I don't even know that this game was that successful. Maybe I'm wrong, but this game got me into gaming. After I bought my Nintendo Switch, after getting this game, I got a bunch of Switch games. It got me to play my first, I know it's blasphemy, but my first ever Zelda game was Breath of the Wild. I got that right after, and I fell in love with it, and then I was like, oh my gosh. And I played The Witcher 3 for the first time on Switch, because that's all I had. Now, of course, I'm a PC gamer with like a high-end 4090 gaming PC a few years later, and I have an Xbox Series S around, which was the second thing I bought after the Switch. I've got a PS5. I have a video game channel. Like and subscribe if you don't mind. And yeah, I mean, like, this really did change everything for me. That one day, hanging out with my friend, playing old school Mario Tennis, made me believe in video games again, to the point where it has now become my biggest hobby, and really, honestly, my passion. Let me know how you feel about this. Have you played? Let's talk about it in the comments. And I'm a really small channel, teeny tiny little channel. A little like and subscribe does go a long way to helping us grow. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to have fun.